Thanks for watching a video blog. Today from Almaty, Kazakhstan. So when I had my flight from Georgia to Kazakhstan, I had the opportunity to sit at the window side and I could see the enormous landmass of Kazakhstan. I flew from Georgia, Tbilisi, and from the moment we left I saw Tbilisi, and then after there was just nothing but land, empty land for at least 4 hours of flying before finally Almaty came inside Kazakhstan, and then suddenly you see the lights, you know, from the city. But up until that time, all that I saw was empty land. And Kazakhstan is one of the least densely populated countries on Earth. It's in the top 10. They only have 20 million inhabitants for this gigantic, enormous landmass. And that's fantastic, because when you think about overpopulation, this theory, which is just only a theory, it's not based on reality, just like the evolution theory is just a story. Theory means it's just a story, doesn't mean that it's a reality. Overpopulation is also just a theory. It's just a story, because if you would leave out the story and just look at reality around you, you can clearly see that there is not something as overpopulation. And this was my reality. When I was looking outside of the window with the limited sight that I had from left and right, because I also checked on the other side many times. With the limited sight that you have, I could already see that the 4 hours that I spent on the flight, that there was just nothing but empty landmass. Landmass where the Kazakh people used to live, nomadically. People in Kazakhstan all derived, well, not the Russians and some Germans and some others, but the Kazakh people, they derive from nomadics. And they used to wander around in these lands and just live. They had all the space, and of course they didn't need any city. But when you have a theory, it can be nice theory, it can be funny, whatever, but always check it with reality. Do you see in reality any evidence for this theory? And if we talk about overpopulation, Kazakhstan is of course a great example where you can immediately see that it's just a story. It works nice in movies, makes people feel like a horror movie, like, oh, look, the horrors of overpopulation, the whole world is going to be imploded, it's going to be destroyed, the world is going to be destroyed. That's the whole theory. And it makes a nice theory for a movie or a book, fantasy. Yeah, it's nice. I like fantasy stories. They're great. It's a nice story, but it's not based on reality. Just as the evolution theory is not based on reality. It's a funny story, maybe a little bit dangerous or insulting towards God. But in the end, if you just see it as a story, well, then it's just a story. You cannot find any evidence here and now for evolution. Where can you show me right now, right here, evolution? It's nowhere to be found. The same goes for the overpopulation. If you just look around, if you just open your eyes, look in your surroundings, where do you see overpopulation? Where do you see it? Do you see it here? Are we standing like shoulder to shoulder, or do we have space where we even can put like a statue, where children can ride on the skateboards, like what I used to do when I was 14, 15, 16. So this is always my thinking. Open your eyes, look around. Where do you see in your living environment, or when you are passing a living environment or flying over a landmass, where do you see it? Where do you see overpopulation? It's not there. You cannot find it. Because Kazakhstan is not the only country that I've flown over. Last year, for example, I flew to Los Angeles. Made some videos there, had an interview. Took me hours and hours to fly there. And all these hours I was flying, for example, over Greenland. Totally empty, nobody there. Land to live. Maybe it's a bit cold, but many people live in the cold. In Siberia, Alaska, Northern Scandinavia, they do fine. It's not difficult to live in an environment where it's minus 60 degrees. Not a problem at all. I flew also over Greenland, and it was all empty. Nothing. All space. And also I flew to Africa. And when you fly over Africa, you can also see all empty space. Everywhere it is empty. There are few spots where it is populated. If it's overpopulated, that's just maybe an opinion. I feel that some places in the Netherlands are overpopulated, but they're not even as overpopulated as, for example, in Hong Kong. So it's just an opinion. It's a feeling. It's not reality. There is no such thing as overpopulation. You can maybe say overpopulation is when you have a room and you put there like 100 people, and you put so much people there until they're shoulder to shoulder, when they can't move, they can't sit. Yeah, that is maybe overpopulation. When you're literally trapped in a place and you cannot even move, and you cannot even sit or move, yeah, that is overpopulated. But that's not the reality of this world. Look, enough space to move. Here, basically, people could set up a tent and stay there, no problem. They will not be bothering anybody. You see, even in the city, they have place for playgrounds, for squares, for fountains that are unfortunately not working today. But there is no overpopulation. There is just no overpopulation. It's very clear. Open your eyes. Just look around in the place where you stay and ask yourself, are we here sitting shoulder to shoulder, neck to neck, cannot move, cannot breathe? If you can move around, then there's no overpopulation. So there's not too many people. It's impossible. And so if there is a place where the population is dense, where you are living more closer to each other, like the place where I grew up, the Randstad in the Netherlands, you can move to another place. It's no problem. You can leave. There's enough space in the rest of the Netherlands. There are even places dying because there's nobody that wants to live there anymore. Also because it's just like an underpopulation problem. The birth rates are declining, people are not having enough children. It's going to be ghost towns, empty. You can go there if you really feel like there's an overpopulation problem. Like many of these fancy theories that scientists and especially social scientists come up with, they're just not real. And you can debunk them yourself by just looking around in your own environment. And say to yourself, ask yourself, do I really see any of this theory playing out in reality or not? So that was it for today from Almaty, Kazakhstan. I say thank you for watching. See you next time.